one step away, forward in motion, know where I've been, know where I'm going. Voices rise up, a beautiful sound. There's more than enough music to go around. Everyone step in line with me, put your hands up, get on your feet. Oh, 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 oh. This is my circle, this is my tribe. Leaning together, we know we're all on the same side. We are stars in the same sky, circle of stars in the same big sky. We burning brighter than before, we shining on forevermore. Circle of stars in the same big sky. Love could fill up an ocean. I lift you up, you keep me going. Anything is possible, there's nothing we can't do. Bring out the best in me, I'll give it back to you. This is my circle, this is my tribe. Leaning together, we know we're all on the same side. We are stars in the same sky, circle of stars in the same big sky. We burning brighter than before, we shining on forevermore. Circle of stars in the same big sky. This is my circle, this is my tribe. This is my circle, this is my tribe. This is my circle, this is my tribe. Leaning together, we know we're all on the same side. We are stars in the same sky, circle of stars in the same big sky. We burning brighter than before, we shining on forevermore. Circle of stars in the same big sky.
Welcome everyone to the Sacramento Center for Spiritual Living for our July 11th service. We are so glad that you are here. You probably got a pop-up when you joined that this service is being recorded, and we use that on our social media because many people actually come on and watch. And so we use that to build our community and to reach out to more people who are unable to come on Sundays. Of course, you are welcome to turn off your video or to change your username if that makes you feel more comfortable. I also want you to know that we have this incredible event coming up. Wait for it, hold on to your seats. On August 1st, we will be back in person at our center. We have already set up chairs that are 6 feet apart. We have a wonderful, safe, blessed way for us to sacredly let each other know our comfort level with contact and with hugging and whatnot. So if you want hugs, or if you don't, or whatnot, we have an easy way for you to identify that will not in any way be a problem. So you can come at whatever level of safety you feel comfortable with. Join us at 10 a.m. on Sunday, August 1st for our blessing, and at 10:30 for our service. And as always, this is our path going forward. You can still join by Zoom. So if you can't make it, you can still Join our service via Zoom, much as we would love to see you in person. So that's August 1st. You can find this and more on our website, on our social media. I'm sorry that I'm going out of order, but that's the way we are sometimes as Reverend Sharon likes to say, we're religious scientists, and so we do it in the order that comes to us. You can find this on our website at sacsl.org. You can find this information on our meetup group. We also have a presence on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. So join us in every and any way that you can. We love you. Blessings. And now we are going to have our land blessing, our land acknowledgement. Join with me in sacred silence as I speak these words. We acknowledge the indigenous peoples of this land who have lived here since time immemorial. Sacramento is the ancestral tribal land of the Nisenan people. We also honor the Southern Maidu people to the north, the Valley and Plains Miwok people to the south of the American River, and the Patwin Wintun people to the west of the Sacramento River. We have 2 books of the month for July. So I think that those of you who have been with us, every month CSL has this dual theme going on in 2021, which ties together so beautifully. We have the timeless wisdom, which is from times past, of course, that is the wisdom that has been handed down to us. And we have the evolutionary vision that is where we always are moving forward, that which draws us, moves us into our evolution. This month, our books are Can We Talk to God by Ernest Holmes. This is known as one of the most accessible books of Ernest Holmes. Highly recommended. This is our timeless wisdom. And our evolutionary vision is Michael Bernard Beckwith, Spiritual Liberation, Fulfilling Your Soul's Potential. And now it is my pleasure, I want to say my honor, but it's my sheer delight to introduce our senior minister, Reverend Sharon Dunn, who guides us with such wisdom and joy and authenticity. She has a master's in consciousness studies, and she blesses us on Sundays and all the time. Welcome, Reverend Sharon.
Thank you so much. Great job. That was a lot, Debbie. That was a lot. You do such a great job, I must say. And I want to welcome everybody. It's good to see everybody. Congratulations, Anne, on the marriage of your son. I'm wondering when we're going to see pictures. I can't wait. What a beautiful couple. She is just gorgeous with her dimples. I cannot wait to see what the future holds for you as far as genetics go. What a cutie. And I'm glad to be back from my extravaganza birthday holiday. And I think I have fodder for this talk today, enough to last probably 4 talks. What a grand and glorious time I've had, and I want to tell you all about it. So the thing that is alive in me right now is that I'm nice and cool. Praise God. I'm sitting in my beautiful home with the ceiling fan going, and the morning has cooled off whatever is going on with our weather. And I want to know what you're doing to stay cool. So unmute and tell us briefly, what are you doing to stay cool?
Iced coffee.
Iced coffee.
Air conditioning.
Air conditioning.
Dancing in the morning.
Dancing in the morning.
All of us are just naturally cool people. So, there's that.
Lots of fans.
Lots of fans. Yes, lots of fans. Exactly. Yes. Last night, I called my daughter. I was a little forlorn, and I was like, honey, I'm hot. Yes, you are, Mom. She said, why don't you? why don't you put ice packs in your armpits? And I thought, well, I don't know if I can do that, but I put a beautiful, wonderful ice pack around my neck, and that really helped a lot to cool me down. And I think our temperatures are going down now for the rest of the week. We have one more day of heat, and I believe that this afternoon I will be floating in our pool. I am so blessed to live in a community that has a pool that I don't have to take care of. God is good. So let's get started. I am going to ring our bell and invite our practitioner of the day, who is an absolute beautiful presence, Margie, to open our service even further, go deeper into our celebration today.
And feeling the vibration of that sound. Take it into your heart with the vibration of the one mind of God, the divine presence that's right here and right now. And knowing this is the truth. I know the truth that this divine presence is within each and every one of us. And as I know this, it's all love and devotion to each other, our community, our ministers, our practitioners, our members, our viewers, all that participate here and not at this time are blessed. As we bless the service, we know we get the perfect message from Reverend Sharon today. We appreciate each other, and so it is. And now for our readings. True non-resistance is the surrender of every arrogant attitude of mind to good and to good alone. Those who have made this surrender have found real peace of mind, happiness, and wholeness in the only place it can be found, which is within themselves. Science of Mind magazine, 1993. Now, I like to feel that faith is operated upon a principle so that I won't feel I have to energize energy. Because if I had to energize energy, I wouldn't know where I would get the energy with which to energize energy. This is one of the secrets of Jesus, non-resistance. Ernest Holmes, Ideas of Power. If you set up resistance in your mind to the flow of life through you, this emotional congestion will get snarled up in your subconscious mind and cause all kinds of negative conditions. Dr. Joseph Murphy. Faith is a spiritual conviction that what we know has greater power than any apparent material appearance and or resistance. Thus, in faith, we can surrender into the vision of our I am and know at the deepest level of our being that it is the Father, Mother God within us that does the work. Diane Harmony. And now, and please enjoy our God.
Let us begin our meditation by placing our attention on our palms and our breath. Move now your attention to the heart center. in this meditation, become free in this immediate moment. Now. Building the stamina for the benefit of self and others. Invite now all teachers, sages, and divine beings into this heart center, feeling the radiance of their presence. Spread this radiance throughout your whole body as an inner smile. Like sunbathing from the inside out, with this radiant aim of energy residing like the sun in your heart.
I was wondering what people are looking at. Okay, and my question this morning is my commitment greater than my resistance? This is the vision for our life. Is my commitment to that vision greater than my resistance? And so I'm going to talk about three things today: direct revelation, resistance, and commitment. Commitment. And so, of course, Reverend Patricia, we're so grateful for your talk last week. That was phenomenal. If you ever want to learn about the four kingdoms of consciousness, please go to that talk. I have never heard it taught so well, so concise, so precise, and so personal. It was just fantastic. And Reverend Patricia reminded me that I use a principle from our Declaration of Principles every week. And what is the Declaration of Principles, if not something Ernest Holmes himself wrote? And who the heck is Ernest Holmes but the founder of our teaching and the author of The Science of Mind, our textbook. So one of his declarations, which always start with "we believe," is we believe. Now this is fantastic because I read the Declaration of Principles all the time. Do you ever read something and it's just blah, blah, blah? You don't get it. You don't take it in. And then you read it again, still blah, blah, blah. And then one day you read it and go, oh my heavens, that's phenomenal. Why didn't I see that before? Well, folks, that happened to me. And our principle today is we believe in the direct revelation of truth through our intuitive and spiritual nature, and that anyone may become a revealer of truth who lives in close contact with the indwelling God. Now, there's only this one part I want to read again, the part that whacked me over the head. We believe in the direct revelation of truth. What the heck if that isn't visioning? I never put that together. I always said, we believe in the direct revelation. Of course, I have, God's my best friend. We don't go anywhere without each other. We hang out. We dance together. I confide in God. God is my beloved. And this whole idea of spending all this time envisioning all these months, I never realized that in our principles right there, before we even had Michael Beckwith come along with a practice, a spiritual practice of visioning, Ernest Holmes said it. We believe in the direct revelation of truth. So visioning, as you know, is different than visualization. I love to have time for visualization. I love vision boards. I like to imagine from my own mind, what would I like to have happen? How would I like my life to be? But that's different than visioning. Visioning is when I need to just be quiet. I need to just stop that mind of mine, and I need to open to what's possible from the infinite mind. And this direct revelation can be a very, very big vision for my life. Have you ever heard the call from visioning? And you know, you can vision walking down the street, you can vision in a forest, you can vision anywhere, just being quiet and listening. That's what this is. It's listening for that wee small voice. And I talk about why we small, why so small, why so we. That's one of my questions when I get there, but I have no answer for that, except that we have to be quiet in order to hear this beautiful vision. So this direct revelation is right there in our principles. And so direct revelation is the practice of the principles of spiritual being, freedom, and heaven. Right? We believe in heaven is right here while we're here on earth. We believe that heaven is available to everyone, directly proportional to our ability to experience it. Isn't that with everything? Isn't that with everything? As individual expressions, which we all are, we are all individual expressions of the one infinite reality. We have access to this infinite wisdom and intelligence of the ultimate reality. That's giant. That's giant. And so this leads me to the idea when people are saying, well, where's her consciousness? Well, look at her consciousness. She's got that consciousness. She's wearing that consciousness poorly. She's whatever we do to judge people's consciousness. You're judging God because it's not her consciousness. It's not your consciousness. It's God's consciousness. So we all have all of it at all times. It's just whether we're going to experience it, collapse it into form, collapse it into our own very experience. So I have stopped doing a lot of things. Number one, judging someone's consciousness. Now, I have stopped it in commitment. Remember, one of our key points today is commitment. Does that mean I'm always successful? Heck, no. But I make a great effort, and I want to tell you about that a little later today because I've had some wonderful successes to share. So this revelation, it flows through us as us to the degree that we set our previous ideas aside. Do we do that? Or do we pretend to do that? Are we hanging on to those ideas in hope that God will get it? Because I like to control God. You know, I like to say, you know, kind of like the genie in the bottle. Like I like to say, you know, grant me this wish, please. Didn't you love Lauren singing that song? If you don't move the mountains, I need you to move. If you don't part the waters so I can walk through, well, I'll trust in you. So it really is about, it's okay if we have ideas, and it's wonderful when they come up and we can thank them. Oh, how creative, Sharon. That's just a wonderful idea. And there's more. We can say that, can't we? And there's more. Leaving our minds open to the direct revelation, which is available to us through our intuition, because that's the word we can use. We have to have words, right? We have to have words for these concepts that are so giant. We have to have words for them. So let's use intuition. That's a wonderful word. And it can be intentionally cultivated through visioning. Now, I'm not saying we control God through visioning. I'm saying that we can cultivate what's God's idea of itself as our wonderment. We can cultivate that, kind of like a garden. I've been getting out there watering my poor plants. I'm wondering, gee, how you doing in 113-degree weather? My goodness, you look a little droopy. Sometimes we have to support that garden, don't we? We have to cultivate. We have to literally set the time and the awareness to visioning, to hearing God's idea of itself as our life. So visioning is that practice of cultivating the field of consciousness. Isn't that beautiful? You can think of it as a garden, that field of consciousness. We're cultivating it. We're getting out there and plowing out the weeds and and moving around our ideas. And these ideas that we have preconceived notions could be, and I'm not saying this has to be, I don't say anything that I say has to be, remember that, but it could be limiting, couldn't it? It could be limiting if I think, well, this is my idea and I'm sticking to it. This is my idea and I'm sticking to it. Could be a little limiting. So visioning has a methodology, and we know that. We have a practice. Reverend Patricia, I think, mentioned the class of visioning that that actually from CSL, which we heard the term CSL earlier today, which is Centers for Spiritual Living. Want to be clear for those of you who are hearing this for the first time, but we have classes through Centers for Spiritual Living, and some are accredited and some are certificated. And one of them is visioning. And my previous senior minister, when I was in Oakland, wrote the curriculum. It's changed a little bit, which we kind of laugh at, but she wrote that, and her practitioner is Reverend Michael Beckwith. So I'm assuming that she kind of knew what she was talking about. Let's just go with that. So last on this idea of direct revelation is that we allow life's highest vision of itself to be known in our individual human awareness, and we open to this completely new idea. Now hold on to that idea. Opening to a new idea. How comfortable is that? Sometimes it's great if it's not too big of an idea. Oh, I can do that. I don't have to change much to do that. I can still live here. I can still have this marriage partner or this partner in life. I can still go to the same places that I go, and I can still do the same things I do. Well, what happens if the idea doesn't match anything you're doing? Oh, and then sometimes we just disregard it with a big nope. Nope, not doing that. Anyway, that's probably misinformation meant for someone else. So let's talk about resistance. Let's talk about resistance. Ernest Holmes says, back of this is the fear that an idea may be forced into our consciousness, which will uncover to us our own responsibility. That means that we have to do something. Does that mean we have to be different? Maybe. That's a lot of fun, if you ask me. So pain, we say pain pushes us like the winds and currents push an anchored boat, moving us back and forth, side to side, and spinning us in circles, yet never moving us forward. Whereas vision pulls us. Vision pulls us, inviting us to move forward, inviting us to a new place, a new adventure. I'm going to tell you part of my birthday extravaganza was mind-blowing. And Sarah and Abigail, Reverend Abigail and I, Reverend Sarah and I, we want to thank you, Sarah, for being here today and taking Ruth's place. If she's not replaceable, but you are the top one that can do it. But Sarah, Reverend Sarah, holds visioning once a month for ministers from our class. We're litter mates from the Holmes Institute Master's Program, and she holds a visioning every month so that we can peek into the possibilities, the limitless possibilities, the infinite mind. And sometimes I'm just collapsed. Well, she does it very early in the morning, so we kind of come scratching our head, bringing our coffee, and kind of still got the night drool. And then when we're finished, I'm like, wow, what happened? I feel like I can fly through space. And one thing I've noticed in visioning for my life is that, and also with my prayer partner, have a prayer partner, my heavens. When I am with my prayer partner, I've told you this before, usually the prayer is always more God, please. More God, please. And what does that mean? What does it mean when you peek into the portal of the infinite mind? It means we want more of it. I'm like an addict. Ooh, I'm a spiritual addict. I love that. Always wanting more and have this insatiable hunger for what God's idea of itself as my life is. And I've noticed that I've been wanting to be different in some of my behaviors. Boy, is that a hard one. Have you ever had a behavior that you enjoy that doesn't really match the vision for your life? Sometimes I can be condemning. You know that thing I say every Sunday, judgment is good to know where you are in relativity, and then discernment is the next step to know which way we want to go. And then when you slip into condemnation, you've fallen off the planet. Well, sometimes I go there. Let's just say sometimes I went there and felt I had to be there. I need to tell you about the behavior of so-and-so. That just does not work for me. This could be anyone. It could be a politician. It could be a family member. It could be a family member. It could be a family member. It could be a friend that you've had your whole life. But it's just that behavior needs to be talked about, which means that I'm adding energy to it. That means that I am creating from that conversation more condemnation. Dr. David he's the senior minister, spiritual director of the San Jose Center for Spiritual Living and my mentor. And he poses a question on Facebook every day, which I find fascinating, and I have to partake. I get up in the morning waiting for the question. Today's question was, have you ever said a person is X and then realized you're the same way? What was it? And I said, every time. Because quantum mechanics teaches us that we see through reflection. So why am I criticizing someone? Why would I want to do that? If I am you and you are me and we are all together, cuckoo, ka-choo, why in the heck am I talking stuff about you? What is that about? Well, it builds my case. I'm a spiritual attorney. It builds my case that I'm better. It builds my case that you should feel sorry for me. You should feel sorry for me because I have to deal with that. Poor her. Whatever the 100 reasons are that we talk about someone in that derogatory way, it doesn't matter. I have learned in my visioning that that's not who I want to be. And so guess what? I had to change my behavior. I had to create a new discipline. Well, and I didn't do it to expect something in return. Do you ever do that? Well, if I do this, I'm going to get this. And so that's a good motivation. But actually, God doesn't actually have that kind of motivation. We don't have a punishing God. We have a loving God. We have a God that is good because our God is infinite and our God cannot be opposed or annihilated. So it's got to be good. It's just logic. We, though, have the freedom to create shenanigans. We can create wars and disease and all kinds of fun stuff. And so I literally decided to try. Now, this is something that we can do. I'm just going to try it for a week. We don't have to change our behavior forever. How about we just try it for a week? How about this week you try something different that matches the vision for your life, a behavior that you've been doing that doesn't match the vision for your life so that it cancels out the vision for your life. And so I decided to talk nice. only nice about this one person for real. And you guys have been hearing this story for a while, and you've been seeing that I've been having some very good results in my relationship. In fact, it's a miracle. Or is it quantum physics? Take your pick. And so I've been noticing some funny things happening. Remember, prosperity and abundance is not about green and silver. It's not about money. It's about everything. Includes money, includes health and wellness, it includes relationship. It includes everything in life that is good. It is your good that we are working for. And so all of a sudden, these good things started happening. And you knew about one I've talked about. Well, gosh, I've been able to see the good in this person. I never saw that before. Well, this is weird. Well, look at me. I'm Sandra D. I am seeing such good I've never seen before. And then when the temptation to condemn comes in, because, it's not going to go away right away, right? Our new behavior is going to get its turns and challenges. But what happens is we start to discipline differently, and so it comes faster, doesn't it? Comes easier. Like, oh, I'm getting really good at this. A temptation comes, and you bless it. You bless it. Thanks for coming, but there's no vacancy. You're not coming in. Just thank you. And I was seeing such good things in this person, and I was very delighted with myself. And I was pretty smitten with myself, actually. Well, then I'm celebrating my birthday. And I start receiving gifts. This is my good, right? And I'm terrified of these gifts. And I'm like, girl, what kind of minister are you? You got this big gift and you're terrified of it, because I was uncomfortable. Did I almost want to say, no, thank you, I can't accept that? Or I have to tithe that back to the center. This is for me. This is for me. And then I realized, well, and I did it quickly. I realized, well, you know what? I teach. Just say thank you. If you're having a little trouble receiving, just deal with it. But in the meantime, put a smile on your darn face and say thank you. And so I was quick to say thank you. Thank you. Then I'm breathing, kind of like Lamaze. I'm giving birth to this new behavior, this new way of being, and I'm breathing into it, right? And God's right here in my face. You know how you do in labor when you're helping somebody and you're right in their face and you're helping them breathe until all of a sudden they're like, get out of my face. No, that's transition, but that's another talk. Anyway, so then I decide, well, I'm going to just really enjoy this gift. And there's some people here that know exactly what I'm talking about. Very generous people. And then I'm at my son's baseball game down in San Diego to see my grandchildren. And I get a strange message. And the strange message is another gift. Only this gift was 20% more. Well, I don't know. I'm not very good at math. Or I'm good at math, but not in this life. It was a lot bigger, a giant gift. And so I thought it was a spam. Is that right? Spam? I thought, well, this can't be real. That was my first response. Are you with me here? Someone's trying to give me a gift and I'm saying this can't be real. This is dangerous. I'm going to delete this. Because it came through social media and I'm like, wow, someone's trying to, get to me. And then I get a phone call from that person. This is a stranger. I mean, I know this person, but not well. And I get this giant gift and I want to cry, but I'm a minister, so I have to have a looking good, so I have to act like I know what I'm doing with receiving. And then I have to like be like, you know, thank you so much. This is amazing. But meanwhile, it's kind of, the gift is like stuck right here in my throat. It's so giant, mind you, you know. And then that's not the end of the story. I get a trip. I get a trip to Pismo for 3 days in a beautiful place right on the water. And I'm there, you know, being spoiled, and I'm upset. We're at dinner and I'm upset. And I don't know what's wrong with me. And I ask myself, what's going on with you? Why are you so upset here? Well, someone's buying me dinner. And I'm thinking to myself, you know, I'm on this second key point here called resistance. We're talking about resistance here, folks. And I'm upset. I can't enjoy, I want to cry right now. I can't enjoy my dinner because I'm choked up like this. I can't repay this is my thing. I can't repay this. So I say, stop it. Just stop it. But I do confess, because that gets it out of my body. And I let that person know how grateful I am, and that I'm struggling here, and that I want to let it go. And so together we let it go, and I enjoy this incredible feast. Again, sitting there, ocean is out there, it's sunset. It's just like one of those moments where Spirit wanted me to get that I am an individual expression of the One itself, the child of the One, the parent that wants to give its child the world. And I'm stuck. I'm stuck. And then there's more. So I get this trip of a lifetime, right? And I get an invitation from someone else now. This is still the birthday extravaganza going on. I get invited, all expenses paid, to a place on my bucket list, out of this country, into a world that I've always wanted to go. And that was it. I fell down on my knees and said, I get it. I get it. I want more God, then I better be more God. I want more God. I want the vision for my life, then I better be the vision for my life. And on top of everything else, I want to thank all of you, because I also got a raise during this exact time and a bonus. So now I'm feeling kind of spoiled, and I'm kind of liking it. I'm getting used to this new girl. You just bring it. I am knowing that the more I love all of you and the more I love me, the more God has an opportunity to make way to giving us the kingdom. The kingdom. We hear that so many times. We have heaven here on earth to the extent that we can receive it, that we can believe it, that we can trust it. Lauren Daigle. And when it doesn't look like we want it to look, when you don't move the mountains I need you to move, or part the seas that I need to walk through, I will trust in my good. And that means, do I get to behave for my bad when I trust in my good? Don't you realize the math there? The math cancels that out. And so this is a huge, huge lesson for me. We want to grow the center. We have the wildest dreams. We have the most beautiful vision for our center. We are a welcoming sanctuary community where all are accepted, valued, and supported in the global family. Well, does that mean that we get to talk nonsense about each other? Whoops. Our mission is to inspire and nurture personal and global transformation through the teaching of science of mind, and our purpose. In joy and love, we connect in service to all life. When I am talking in those ways that do not match my vision, I am not in service. And so I've gotten a taste of the high life. I've gotten a taste of the spiritual life. I've gotten a taste of who I want to be. I've gotten a taste of who I want to surround myself with. And I am actually becoming more and more aware and getting faster and faster at identifying that which does not match my vision and needs to be moved out of the way. And I am thrilled. And I'm thrilled with all the gifts. I am absolutely thrilled. So vision invites us to let go of our point of reference, invites us to journey outside of our comfort zone, and demands that we take a risk, raise our anchor, and surrender control of our vessel. And one of the greatest stumbling blocks in anyone's spiritual advancement is dishonesty. Dishonesty. Who are we most dishonest with, if not ourselves? Oh my gosh, I like to talk about that person. I have a diagnosis for that person. I know exactly why that person moves and has its being in this world because I have figured that person all out. Do you know, we have no idea about another person. In fact, we're spending time on that with our Wisdom Wednesdays series, where we're inviting people and come this next Wednesday for an hour of storytelling where we get to hear the stories. You get to tell your story and help us know who you are. Where have you been? What is your 2020 story? This is very rich, very rich. This comes in part from the human tendency to take the line of least resistance. Have you ever heard that? Take the line of least resistance. Do it the way I've always done it. I'm going to do it the way I've always done it. We should never say that. We should always say, I'm going to do it the new way. I know people are different. Some people love change. I do. Some people, no, some people do not. Some people like to just let the grass grow around their feet. And that's okay. Do you realize that you can still live the vision of your life without moving a muscle? You can live the vision for your life without changing your weight or your height or your house. You can live the vision for your life. Where do we live it? In consciousness. This place in consciousness that is absolutely vast and infinite and beyond our comprehension as human beings. But I always say when we open that portal to the infinite mind, we're never the same. We're changed forever. So can you imagine if you just kind of keep that door open? You'd have to breathe pretty much your Lamaze breathing through that. So last on this, confronted with an idea that repudiates one we have held for years, we go far out of our way, entirely around the idea, to keep from being compelled to analyze and possibly to absorb it. You ever do that? You don't even think about it. You're already saying, no thanks. Nope. No. I'll get back to that. We wouldn't even write it down or put it in our journal because once you do that, oof, that's an energy. That's another talk altogether as well. So our cry is, I do not like to believe that. Basically if I were to admit it to you, I would have to say that I was saying I don't deserve that. I can't open myself up to see myself in this new way that has that new gift. Isn't that an interesting idea? It's like I can't see myself there. You know, and one thing I want to really toot my own horn is I moved through this very quickly. And not only that, but I had the awareness to say, "Oh, you're uncomfortable. Look at you. I think you just had a blood pressure experience. Like your heart rate's going up. You're sweating. Like what?" I guess I should say perspiring. My heart rate, my body felt the almost like an onslaught. Like a gift came at me, like almost like an attack. Isn't that weird? Like, have you ever had that experience where someone wants to give you something? You're like, no. Raise your hand if you have, please. Oh, thank you. I love it when you're there with me. So last but not least, we're talking about commitment. I love change. But I also like commitment. I'm a person very comfortable with commitment. You know, there's people who are not comfortable with commitment. Any of you, commitment, not so sure, kind of like to be free flowing, kind of like to be a free bird, kind of like, well, I was, with my husband for 45 years. So I'm going with, I'm the type that likes commitment. I'm very committed to all of you. If you haven't noticed, I'm going to be committed, that's just who I am. And so I think that it serves me well when the vision for my life shakes my foundation. When I have, this wee small voice shouting at me, because my wee small voice is a nag and shouts at me, and it doesn't let up. It's kind of like that annoying, that annoyance that kind of hangs on your pant leg and tucks, kind of pulls at you all the time. But I am happy to be committed. The idea is to ask yourself, are you ready to be transformed by the renewing of your mind? Are you ready to be transformed by the renewing of your mind? And what was our original question? Is my commitment greater than my resistance? God, it has to be. It has to be. Because if I would have invited my resistance in to have its way with me, the gifts that were coming to me wouldn't be the same. They would be limited. Trust me. And then we ask ourselves, are you ready to embody something completely different and unrecognizable? Just say yes. It wasn't there some kind of, I think it was just say no, but we're going to go on another campaign here. We're going to say, just say yes. I am going on a trip of a lifetime with a group of people who inspire me to my core for 9 days in the middle of nowhere where there's no electricity and no hot water, which is my favorite place because I'm a nomad, with spiritual teachers to start off the year 2022. I just see my life getting more expansive. This thing that I want, this vision for my life to be more God, to have more God, to know more God, to behave more God, to speak more God, to think more God. This is working. So here's a spiritual practice for you. Are you willing? Are you willing? Listen to this. For 30 days. Now, if 30 days sounds like a lot, just 7 days, okay? For 30 days in your morning spiritual practice. Now, remember, this can be your morning spiritual practice. You don't have to go sit on a meditation pillow and chant Om, or, get in one of those contorted, where you cross your legs and put one behind your neck. you can actually just do this. You can just do this. For 30 days, ask your inner self, what do you want to express as me today? What do you want to express as me today? Who does that? Who wakes up in the morning and asks that question? Spirit, what would you have me do today? Spirit, what is your idea of my day? At the end of the day, journal about all the ways God expressed itself as you throughout the day. Do you realize what happens here when we start giving attention to what's happening? We expand what's happening. What we give attention to expands. So if something good happened that day and you give attention to it, guess what? More good comes your way. Ask yourself, where am I in probability thinking when I could be in possibility thinking? You ever do that? Well, this is probably going to happen. Oh, this is a hot one. Where will I be today? I'm going to deal with the heat. Well, what else is possible? Here's another question. Where do I think I will end up if I completely surrender to the vision? Well, I'm going to end up somewhere where there's no electricity and no hot water for 9 days. And what's the difference between my highest vision and God's idea of itself as me? What's the difference? Is one the human idea of what's probable or God's idea of what's possible? Remember, this is, let me say, for those of us who greet change with resistance, this is a new way of being. We all do it. Don't say, oh yeah, I do that. No, we all do. Yeah, me too, everybody. And so this is just a new way of being, and we get to create a new way of being in every moment. This is good news. This is the good news. So you're willing to do that with me for 30 days? That we literally live in vision? That's amazing. So as we bring this all together here, we want to remember the song that we heard, and I hope you will listen to that song again because it's such a beautiful song, is to have faith in the infinite mind. We don't see it. We can't touch it. We can't, we can't be certain about anything except the infinite mind. Reverend Dr. David, one of his questions the other day was, what are you certain about? I just immediately said, God. Yeah, certainly not me. But God, absolutely. Faith is the belief in the substance of things not seen, not a guaranteed replica of our mental prototype. Faith is the belief in the substance of things not seen, not a guaranteed replica of our mental prototype. Isn't that something? How many of you have a mental prototype? Well, sure. It's called history. Yeah, it's called history. It's a prototype. Are you willing to trust that which already made you perfect? Oh, that want to bring me to tears. Are you willing to trust that already made you perfect? Let's leave it there. Wow. Already made you perfect. Let's pray. I am so grateful. I'm grateful to know this one is my life. I'm grateful to know this one is the life of each of you. I'm grateful to know that this is a generous, oh my heavens, a generous spirit, a generous creator, creating all of us in perfection in its perfection. And then giving us freedom. Giving us freedom to choose whatever. Giving us freedom to choose whatever we want to experience. And that means everything. So what of those things that we question? Why do children get sick? Why is there war? Why are our religious differences so difficult? Because we have the freedom. We have the freedom to experience this infinite possibility in our lives. And we do so in every moment. We choose. And so I see this infinite spirit as the truth of my life, the truth of each of us. And I have proof, living proof, that when I choose it, it has already chosen me. It waits for us to choose it. And I choose it in every moment. I open my arms, my heart, my body, my mind to receive my good. So that good then is me expressed in the world. And then what happens? I am serving from that place. I am serving from the grace of God. I am serving from the power of the one. No matter what appears, no matter what circumstance, condition, situation shows up in the human experience, it is beyond that I cast my net. It is beyond that I see from vision. It is beyond that becomes my experience. So no matter what is going on, it doesn't matter. It is how we experience it that matters. And we experience everything through the power of God. That is the freedom. And that is heaven. Right here and right now. And so I release my word knowing that it is already done in mind with deep and abiding thanksgiving. I accept the blessings for us all. And please join me by saying, and so it is. Whew.
It's like the air around me. It's like the sunlight on my face. I feel the love of God surround me. I am touched by amazing grace. And all I ever wanted, and all I ever needed, was already there. Closer than the sunlight, nearer than the air. And I am filled with the Spirit, and it is health to my body, it is peace to my mind, it is joy, it is joy to my soul. And I breathe out thank you. And my breath becomes a song that we're singing all along, that is singing everywhere. It is nearer than the air. I breathe in, and I am filled with the Spirit. Oh, it is health to my body. It is peace to my mind. It is joy, it is joy, it is joy, joy to my soul. And I breathe out my simple prayer. Thank you. And my breath becomes a song that we're singing all along, that is singing everywhere. It is nearer than the air. It's like the air around me. It's like the sunlight on my face. I feel the love of God surround me. I am touched by amazing grace. And all I ever wanted, and all I ever needed, was already there, closer than the sunlight, nearer than the air.
Oh my. Now that is a gift of a minister of music. And we have been given so many gifts this morning. Reverend Sharon's talk had so much information in it, so much experience in it, so much wisdom, so much love. I want to take us back to the opening song by Faith Rivera. This is our circle. This is our tribe. This experience that we have on Sunday mornings is the opportunity that we've been given to remember how much we are loved and how much love that we are. So this also is the time in our service that you have an opportunity to invest in yourself, in your circle, in your tribe. So as I say, give until it feels good, until you match that sense of joy, of community, of belonging, of knowing that you are loved. And you can invest through PayPal or credit card on our website. You can mail a check to our address. And please, every time, if you shop through Amazon, please use Amazon Smile, because it's another way that you can give to us. And we thank you for your investment in us and your investment, most importantly, in yourself through us. So I'm going to say our affirmation. If you will stay on mute, but repeat it with me. Abiding by the law of circulation and in heartfelt gratitude, I know that I live in a creative and abundant universe that continuously flows in, through, and out as me, expressing as the ever-expanding infinite good. Or as Michael Gott would say, I breathe in and I breathe out. And so it is. And now we're off to our announcements. We are gathering live and in person periodically, mostly outside. And tomorrow is a time at my house, actually, for the Busy Hands, Warm Hearts. This is any kind of handwork that you do. We have rock painters, we have people who draw mandalas, we have crocheters, whatever you want, bring your project, bring your own coffee or tea, and come join me and a group of us tomorrow morning at 9:30. If you don't know where I live, please give me a phone call and I will give you the address. But it's Busy Hands and Warm Hearts and lots of laughter. On Wisdom Wednesday, which is this Wednesday, Reverend Sharon talked about this, but it's a chance for us to hear you. What was your 2020 like? What is your story? What changes happened? How did you learn and grow? What gift were you given through this incredible year of 2020? We'd love to know. Come join us at 6:30 on Wednesday. And reminder, we are coming home. On Sunday, the 1st of August, there'll be a blessing at 10 a.m. and a service at 10:30. And we've done everything that we can think of to make this a warm and safe re-entry into the community gathering that we are so accustomed to on Sunday mornings. And again, it will always be from here on out a hybrid situation that you can join us through Zoom or join us in person. And either way, you're welcome and we love you. And you can put prayer requests through the chat of this Zoom, and we will take your requests into prayer. You can also make a prayer request through our website. So if you're not watching this live, if you're watching the recording, please go to our website and give us your prayer requests so we can hold you in our hearts and in the truth for the coming week. And now, Margie, it's time for our closing.
Okay, if you remain muted and join with me as we say this affirmation together. I commit to the highest vision for my life. Yes, I commit to the highest vision for my life. Take that with you all week and believe it and know it, vision it. It's the highest vision. And now for our benediction, and just knowing and feeling and giving the one mind that is there, the gratitude for what we shared today, the blessing of the service, the blessing of the message, the music, the activities, all that we have. We are so in gratitude, and we bless each other today. We take this blessing and we express it and expand it through the world and through our family and through ourselves. And together we'll say, Amen, Ashe, and so it is. And join us for fellowship right after the service. It's not, our closing song with Reverend Anderson, Raymond Anderson. Please enjoy. and fellowship afterwards.
There is always a light when we are ready to see it. There is always a light when we are ready to be it. To see the light, to be the light, to raise our eyes in the dark of night, to climb this hill, together we will. There is always a light in the dark. We are ready to see it. There is always a light in the dark. We are ready to be it. To see the light, to be the light, to raise our eyes in the dark of night and be a gift. Together we will. There is always a light. There is always a light. We are ready to see it. There is always a light. There is always a light. We are ready to be it. To see the light, to be the light, to raise our eyes in the dark of night and be a gift. Together we will. There is always light. There is always dark. There is always light. There is always dark. To see the light, to be the light, to raise our eyes in the dark of night and be a climb this hill. Together we will. There is always light. There is always dark. There is always light. There is always dark. Be the light.
Ooh, 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 shine.